Hello and welcome to my channel, SideQuest Crafts and Games. I am your host, SideQuest, and today we're going to be taking a slight turn from Monster Hunter content. We're going to be moving on to Oxygen Not Included. If I seem a little off in this first video, is because I have pressed record and deleted this probably 6 times now at this point because my brain is like, it has to be perfect. It has to be perfect. It's the same thing that I'm pretty sure a lot of new YouTubers and people starting off with their journey of content creation go through. You can always delete and re-record, and sure, a very pretty polished project is wonderful, but I don't know. I feel like people also like seeing the process of somebody getting better at stuff as well. Anyway, that being aside, so we're going to be moving away from Monster Hunter finally. I've been wanting to do a tutorial slash playthrough of Oxygen Not Included. Now, when I say tutorial, it's mostly going to be from the perspective of somebody who is an intermediate. I have, as of right now, let me pull this over here. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Come on. So, as you can see, this is 602.9 hours played of this game. um, and here's what I'm looking at. So these are my achievements. This is how much I have played the game. I've played it for 600 hours, and the reason why I had this brilliant idea is because I can get to mid-game. But I have never, as of this video, I have never launched a single rocket. Um, I've never done locavore, so there's a bunch that I can still do. And I recently became re-obsessed with this game because I played it a lot when it first came out, and then I played it again a decent chunk with Spaced Out. Now, I can make it to sustainability, and I can get within the Spaced Out DLC, I can get to the second asteroid, and I can get both those bases running, and I can get right up to the point of rockets, and I can tame volcanoes, and I have a pretty good understanding. I have watched so many hours of different YouTubers and different read a bunch of Reddit stuff, and I thoroughly love Francis John and Magnet and oh my God, what's the other guy's name? Echo Ridge Gaming. They have fantastic tutorials, and getting into YouTube made me one of the things that made me want to get into YouTube is I do actually enjoy the idea of being able to create content that then helps other people. But I am very well aware that I am an intermediate in this game, so how could I make this anything remotely interesting? Why would anybody want to watch a YouTube video of Oxygen Not Included by me? Well, it's going to be for anybody that stumbles across this, they would want to watch somebody who's not an expert, like figure things out along the way as well. So my plan is we're going to do a new game. I'm going to be playing the classic game with Spaced Out enabled. And the whole point of this is because Magnet, who's the YouTuber, for those of you who don't know, Magnet and I did a video series on trying to help people get through the temporal tear, because as of now, I think only like 1% of people have actually beaten the game, because it is a lot. There's a lot to the game, and a lot of people will restart over and over going, and I'm definitely one of those people who is guilty of that. We look through my colony summaries. So, you know, cycle count 34, cycle count 179, cycle count 60. And then we get into you know, Lasai. Cycle count 276. Back in 2021, 4 years ago, I got to cycle count 276. 255. This is where I was getting on a consistent basis back in that time frame. And then I got to what happened here. Interesting. But then I started doing this. Revelwood is a group that I'm a part of, and so it's a medieval colony Ren Fair type stuff. It's what our name is. So I started naming my colonies after Revelwood. But as you can see, 156, 351, 448, and then I thought, oh, and then I was going to restart here. So with this one, I made it up to the point where I was pretty much sustainable, and I was about to start. And yeah, this is the most recent. So I started really actually understanding how to tame volcanoes and geysers, and getting into the more advanced foods. And I was about to start making rockets, and then I knew Monster Hunter was going to be around the corner, and other stuff came up. So I just kind of like strayed away from making this or playing this game. But while I was learning, so for this specific colony, and I was going through, and I got up to cycle 416, I thought I got one up to like in the 500s. Or am I just imagining things? Okay, I guess that was the highest I got. But so as you can see, I've not done any of these yet at all. I still have a lot to learn. There's so much to this game. And I love this game. I love Colony Sims. I love games like this, Factorio, Dyson Sphere, Satisfactory. But it is one of those things where there's so much to it, and you'll go on YouTube and you watch these people who like fully understand it, and you're just like, how the hell can you remember all of this stuff? But as I've gone through a bunch of times, I've gotten better and better. Now, I haven't played since that last one, so it's been 4 months now, and this has been in the back of my mind because I watched Magnet's video, trying to help people to actually beat the game. And honestly, my ADHD kicked in with that as well, to where I kind of just fell off with actually trying to watch and keep up with that. So I don't know how to build rocket. I've watched a bunch of videos of Francis John and Magnet and other things, and I read Reddit, and then I understand the basic concepts of it, but I've never actually done it. And this is one of those games where I do want the sense of accomplishment and finishing it. So my plan, and this whole intro and me rambling on with the camera up, is I want to make Magnet proud. So my concept for the video series is going to be titled Make Magnet Proud. But that does encompass all of the other creators as well who have actually poured their knowledge out, and all of the people who have poured their knowledge out on the Reddit forums and on the wiki and all of that to try and help other people understand this wonderful, lovely colony sim game. I love the art style. I love the humor and the comedy behind it. Everything about this is just, it's such a good game. There's the only thing bad that can ever be said about this game is that there's just so much. It's impossible to remember everything until you've done it a billion times, and even then you're going to forget something. I'm always very relieved when I'm watching Francis John videos, and even he forgets things, and I consider him and other creators like him to be professionals or experts or whatever. So the concept and the idea, the dream, the vision. I would like to make a series, start to finish, get through the temporal tear, and unlock all the achievements. Now, this is going to be, I'm going to wind up doing 2 playthroughs, because this first one that I am going to be doing now that you're watching, the whole objective of this is to actually just get through the temporal tear, build a rocket, become sustainable, and actually explore the space map. I'm not going to try to get locavore. I'm not going to try and get, what's the other one? Oh, I guess that's not. Wait, what's the, I thought I could pull up. Guess I can't pull it up on here. Look on Steam. Yeah, so I'm not going to be going for locavore. I'm not going to be going for... Oh my god, what's the one? Carnivore. Wow. I'm not going to be going for carnivore. Um, I really just want to get through the game, and we're going to try and go through and knock as many of the rest of these out. And then through this playthrough, hopefully I will get comfortable enough to where the next video series playthrough, which I want to do a full spaced out playthrough. Like I said, this one is going to be just the base game with spaced out DLC included, so I can continue to become familiar with those systems. And then I would like to do another video series. So I'm expecting that, this is going to take a while. There's going to be many video series, and I'm going to try and keep them between half an hour to an hour per episode, preferably between the 30 and 45-minute mark, in different stages, trying to discuss my thoughts as I go through, and just to become a part of the ONI community and creator, and so I can understand more of this. I didn't understand how much I loved logic gates and logistics until I started playing games like this, and it just scratches an itch in the brain somewhere. But also for the rest of the series, after this, you may see me pop back up on camera here and there. I'm not 100% sure, but for the most part, moving forward after this video, it will just be full gameplay, full screen gameplay without the camera. Because I think some games, it's cool to have the camera so you can see the person and I'm talking and everything. But I think for this, just having my voiceover and the full screen game, it just fits because it's pretty much what most people do. And I don't know, I don't see this as one of those games where you need to be seeing me. So in this first episode, I've already now talked for 12 minutes. So we're just going to get into it. I'm going to start a new game, and we're going to go from there. So switching screens. Okay, so we're going to do new game. We're going to do survival. We're going to do classic. I know I can go through all of this and like make it a little bit more, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just mash random a bunch of times, nothing, and we'll just kind of stop. Okay, I don't really want to. I don't want to do metal pour, at least not metal pour. Okay, yeah, sure, we'll go with this. All right, so this is what we're going to go with. We're going to do all the story traits. I've played around with the Somnium synthesizer. I did that in one of my runs. I've never done the Biobot. I haven't done the Hermit. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, the synthesizer is the only one where I've actually completed it and got the item to put on the pedestal, because I think that gives you an airplane, if I remember correctly. So, and then for game settings, we're leaving everything. Everything is just default. So, start. And yeah, I think one of the things I love most about this game is I do have, personally, I have this thing where I enjoy complex systems, but then I do get to a degree where I can only track it for so much. I can only follow along for so much, and then it falls apart. But what I've realized with this game is, as I've been playing it over and over again, and with all the starts, I'm starting to be able to retain more and more information and remember different things, and get it to where if you take your time on a system, you can set up a system to where you don't really necessarily have to go back. Once you do it correctly the first time, it should last for the rest of the run, and I've gotten better at that. So, as with everybody else, the staple standard with what most people do is you want to go for one digger, a builder, and a researcher. However, I think for this one, I'm going to go dedicated researcher, dedicated digger, and then I'm going to go with somebody who has ranching. Actually, oh, I don't want narcoleptics. So let's just, okay, builder. So we're going to, and we'll re-roll these then. Builder, and we're going to go with rancher and researcher. All right, so cannot do researching errands, don't care about that. Construction machinery, honestly, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. And then Nicola here, we have ranching +8, shabby, don't care about that. Increase, that's perfect. I mean, awesome. 10 science, increase machinery, and decrease construction. Okay, so like I got really lucky off of. How about that? Got really lucky off the start there. Yeah, we're just going to roll with this. And as far as renaming for this, we're not going to be doing any of that. If things play out as things move forward, people actually start watching and commenting, and I start getting any type of following, if you would like your names featured like some of the other contents creators do, we'll cross that bridge. But first and foremost, the whole point of the series is to actually beat the game and to show the perspective of an intermediate who is still learning, in hopes that other people will be inspired to maybe beat the game as well. So as far as a name for this colony, let's see here. We're going to do, you know what? We're going to do Make Magnet Proud. And there is a good chance that I'm not going to do that with this series. There is a good chance, I shouldn't say a good chance, there is always a chance that you could lose your colony. But hopefully not. And worst case scenario, we wind up starting over. But that is oxygen not included in a nutshell, right? Right. All right, so here we go. So we're going to do about half-hour gameplay, and for this first one, just kind of get everything started up. So we'll pause here at the start, and we'll kind of zoom out, and we'll just kind of assess what we're looking here. If you're not familiar with ONI, or if you're watching this because you stumbled across it and you're learning, you can zoom all the way out with the mouse wheel. If you hit Alt-S, you can zoom out for screenshot, and I'll give you a bigger look at everything that's going on. Temperature overlay, it looks like hot here. That looks like, okay, so there's my asteroid of uranium. Pretty big temperate zone. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, and then we have our water. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go dig this out. Hopefully the waterfall down there, and then, wow, actually that's a lot. That is a lot of water for start. So let's do, we're going to go this way, and then I want to get a space for bathrooms and cots right away, but it looks like we're going to have to build up. Well, let's just get going on this. We shall figure it out as we go along. I think I'm going to wind up having to dig up here. Man, that would be a perfect nature reserve also. Might be able to maintain this for a nature reserve. I'm going to do ladder. I think we're going to go up here. And then we're going to carve this out up to there. And I'm going to build bunks up here. Yeah, so schedule, I'm not going to worry about that too much right now. I do want to change. That's not what I wanted to do. I do want to change this to work. Change this to down. No, change this to downtime. Change that to work. Just for now in the beginning. Still close enough. We will be editing that later and adding schedules as we go along. Oh, 2 times speed. It's like, why is it going so slow? Yes, Nicola is not happy standing in water. And furniture, cot. I'm gonna put the bathrooms here for right now. Just gonna slap down. Oh, there's a shine bug there. Oh, somebody might get unrested tonight. We're just gonna do 3 cots there. And we're gonna put. Wait, give me the sink, wash basin, 2 wash basins, and this is all temporary. It's all going to wind up getting ripped out, redone, etc., etc. Okay, cancel that. You don't need to do that. Just get the bathrooms going. And Nicola, you can actually put in a pitcher pump so we can get water going. So that's one thing that definitely did take me a while also, as I've been playing this game, is to really get comfortable with the idea that stuff can be temporary. I think a lot of players, I'm just assuming, a lot of players, they put something down, and once they put something down, they think that they have to leave it there. I was very uncomfortable with, just slapping stuff down and then realizing in my brain, like, oh, hey, I can just, redo that later. Let's mop this up so they're not complaining too much about chilly surroundings and wet toesies. Get the pitcher pump in, then we'll fill up the sinks. What are we doing? We still got plenty of time here. So it looks like we should be okay. Queue up some more dig commands. And then I think we just go up. Oh my god, there's so much water. Yay, a bed. And as you go around, you'll come across these. You can click on inspect them. They'll get the data disks, and that's used for research later on. So with this, what I want to do is I want to kind of figure out and establish. And I don't really know where I want to go. Let me pause here for a second. I don't really know where I want to go with all of this, because this is actually kind of like ridiculous easy mode here. Compared to some of the runs that I have watched other people do. So for temperature, so if the hot biome's over here, what is that? All right, we're gonna do the trick here. Nope. So if you do priority and you do priority tool and you set it to exclamation, you can click on that. That's a carbon dioxide vent. That's nice. So yeah, that's a little trick. If you come across the vent, you can come in here, click priority, click on top priority, change that, and then when it pops up, you can see here it says a carbon dioxide vent, and then just change it back when you're done, so then you know what's there. And I know there's a bunch of uses for carbon dioxide. Not too sure off the top of my head if we're going to be getting into that, because I'm trying hard not to get ahead of myself. But for this, let's see. All right, we're going to go. I mean, we're going to have to wind up core all of this out. So let's just go. I don't know how I want to dig this out. So I think we're going to wind up going up for right now and just coring this out. And what I'll wind up doing is, so I am going to keep this as the center of my base, and then I'll expand this out either side. And what I like to do, and what I've done in my other runs, is I'll do the standard 26, here we go, scheduled downtime. They'll take turns, eat, go to the bathroom, go to sleep. And of course this shine, I should have killed the shine bug. It is going to, everybody's going to have a shit sleep night because of this bug. Unless you have a duplicant that likes, or that is scared of the dark. You don't want light in your bedroom. I should have put a wall up. Yep, see? Poor Gene is going to be, and they're all going, of course, he just flies over as soon as he was over here, and now it's bedtime, so what does he do? He comes over here, and he's going to keep them all awake, and now they're going to be unrested, and they're going to have, immunity minus 10, stress plus 10%. It's only for a little over half a cycle. It's not that big of a deal at the beginning. Just a little annoying. You know what? I do want to try and get a ranch of everything going, but I think just for right now, you got to go, buddy. You got to go. Can't have you distracting everybody. All right, so we got 4 high, and then that would be another 4 high. So that means we're going to. Oh, all of this is going to wind up getting ripped out too. This is the problem that I get into. I wind up getting into the analysis paralysis until I actually get the ball rolling on things, and then I'll start doing things super quick. I have to remember that this is all going to be temporary. Well, it can all be changed. It can all be changed, and it can all be ripped out. So it is not that big of a deal. So you know what? We're just going to do scaffolding for right now, because we're going to do this. I want to get all of these. I need the minerals, I need the metal, I need the copper, the algae, and you also want to go around digging out these little broken crack areas because they can have food like muckroot and other items that are useful to help your colony not die. This is also one of those things where I'm trying to figure out, oh, that's not what I want to do. Would it be beneficial to do a speed up at this point? Again, if you are watching this, I am still pretty new to all of the content creation, so I understand that other creators will do a speed up, so here we'll go to 3 times speed and let them fly through this. I want to dig this out, and then, so if I wanted to do 26, I apologize in advance. I'm going to scatterbrain because I do this thing where I will start a sentence and then I'll finish it in my head. And it's something that creating content has showed me that I need to work on because I do it all the time in real life where I'll be talking to either my girlfriend or somebody, and for whatever reason I will start a sentence and I'll get halfway through it and then I'll just stop because I've finished it in my head, and then I have to go back because I've now started another thought, and then I have to go back and finish my first thought because sometimes my brain just goes too fast for itself and it's really annoying. I'm going to try my best to not allow that to happen. So we want to make sure we don't get ladders entombed here. But we definitely want to get this dug out. We want to get farming going. Oh, research. Wow. See, this is what happens when you don't play for 2 months. So we need to get research going. So let's get a station going. Get a research, and we're going to place that here for just as, again, this is temporary. So we're going to use the printing pod for a light source because duplicants work better, faster under light. I think it's 15% if I remember correctly. And then we're going to do power, and we're going to do a manual generator. We're going to slap that there. We're going to put a battery, and we're going to do generator to battery to research. And then we'll start the research and get that going. And at the start of any colony, you have enough oxalite and enough oxygen around to where you don't really have to worry too much about it. I'll get an oxygen diffuser down here shortly. And then in research, we're just going to go straight into here to get the farming going. Pretty much what I like to do when I play, every playthrough that I've done, I'll go through and I'll get all of the basic researches done, and then immediately get into coal generator and smart batteries to allow myself to accelerate. And then I'll worry about unlocking everything else after that. We're gonna let's dig. A little bit of time left in the day here. Oh, that's not good. Well, I guess that's going to wait until tomorrow. Yeah, so when you dig out sand, it falls down and it can entomb things. So they can't use this now because it's entombed because the sand fell down on it. You would think that they would just realize that they have entombed the sink and dig it out without you telling them to do so. They would just do it right away. But no. Duplicants are wonderful, adorable creatures. They are not the brightest of the bunch. I'm not 100% sure, but I think Francis John was the first one I heard call them Muppets. And in all honesty, it's one of the greatest things that I have heard because it's exactly what they are. So there is a high chance that you will hear me refer to them instinctively as Muppets. Not that I just want to say I'm not trying to rip off Francis for that, but it's just too good and it's so perfect. It really is perfect. Oh, we already are starting to get some carbon dioxide buildup here. So I think, yeah, we need to, I'm just going to go straight down with this because I need a place for the carbon dioxide to go. Oh, priorities, that's what we got going. Actually, I mean, they're doing a wonderful job. Set Gene the researching priority to high, and I'm going to put ranching, building, and digging high priority there, and I'm also going to put building and digging high priority there until we actually get ranches going. Yeah, no, this is okay. So I'm just going to start with an oxygen diffuser early because this is already kind of bad. And again, you're going to hear me say multiple times, it's all temporary because I have to remind myself that it's temporary and it's okay, and you can change it later. And of course, that got dug out. There we go. All right, let's get that going. First printing pod. Choose a blueprint. I will not be taking a fourth at... Well, you know what? What do we have? Let's see what we have. Okay, well, of course. Of course. Cannot do cooking errands, 7 machinery, increased agriculture. I can talk. You know what? We might just jump straight to 4. How much time do we have left? I can get a bed down. Welcome, Ada. Let's get that built right away, just so they have a place to sleep. Alright, so we got the oxygen diffuser, they got some algae in there, and now we will have breathability back. Woof. Yeah, that was... I didn't really have a lot of oxalate, I wasn't thinking. Because, again, trying to play and talk, if you're not used to it, it's not easy. It really isn't. Just going to scaffold this. Not there. There. Damn it. But it's all a learning curve, and we're getting there, and we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out together. So we got our research done, and we're going to move right into that. So this actually works by taking the fourth one because now we can have focused on research while the other three are expanding the base and searching out. Schedule, but we're only going to stick with 4. We're going to stick with 4 for quite a while until we get it, the base mostly mapped out and farms down and everything along those lines. So that's what we're going to stick with for right now. And priorities, Ada, I want you to be prioritizing. You will be farming, but we're going to also have you prioritizing that, but emphasis on priority of farming, just like ranching. Nicola will be the primary focus of ranching. But we're just going to keep coring out. I want to do... different people do different things with their water. So with the water that we have going on here, oh my god, there's so much. So in all actuality, probably one of the best things to do, since it's still temperate down here, and we don't have to worry too much in the early game about temperature creep, it'd be really cool to just kind of pool everything, because I could dig these out and let it all fall down into a tub down here and use that kind of as a water reservoir. So you know what? Let's. What is that? Fertilizer. So this will break. I don't want to get too close to that until I'm ready to. Yeah. So if you don't know if it's sand or fertilizer, I'm not sure if dirt will do it. But if it's sand or fertilizer next to a water pit like this, the water pressure from in here can actually break the wall. Like if I dug this out to here, and it would then spill over. And it's not too terrible in the beginning, but it's not something I necessarily want to deal with. So for this, I think the best thing to do is actually be to dig over to here and have it fall into there. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's keep going. I want to get this open up so the carbon dioxide can float down here. And I think what we're going to do is I'm going to get my farm going up here for right now. And we're going to get mealwood going. Also want to get a much better bathroom situation going. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of, I really want to keep this for a nature reserve. Alright, so for this first episode, we're going to aim to get better bathrooms. I don't have enough time to deconstruct these and then rebuild them right now. You know what? I think I'm just going to, oh my god, look at this. That's even more perfect. There's plenty of spots. You know what? I can always get a pip later on. I can always wild plant with pips, and I can always get another nature reserve at some other point in time. So we're just going to stop dilly-dallying about with that. I want to have this be centralized, so it's. Oh, I forgot to turn that off. So I want this to be 26 tiles. So that should be about. It's actually going to cover that. I know that I am like way overthinking this, but that's just kind of what I do sometimes. And as the series goes forward, I will get more comfortable, hopefully. This is all just a learning curve. So actually what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to move, well, never that. Oh, okay. So we're just going to dig these up as much as I said I didn't want to. And for right now, temporarily, oh, research is done. I forgot how fast research can go when you have a dedicated researcher. And then we're going to get into advanced research because now I'm not going to build a coal generator until I have smart batteries. So I want to get the advanced research capability so I can build the supercomputer and start getting into that. So I think actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the outhouses. Oh my god, I promise I know what I'm doing. It's not true, actually, at all. Don't listen to me. So temporarily we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and then medicine for sink, wash basin. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, and we're going to do throw up a door, put tile there. I don't have airflow tiles unlocked. You know what? We'll get fancy later on. Just do that for now, and then do that for now. Fat fingering hotkeys left and right. Again, it's all temporary in the beginning. This will all get changed and ripped out eventually. Yeah, so I think what we're going to do is we'll get the bathroom set up. Get the room bonuses for the latrine and for the barracks. So if you come into here, if you're not sure. Yay, barrack. Oh, there we go. Okay, so they finally finished building all that. So now that that's enclosed, barracks. And that shows right here what you actually need for it. So we have +1 morale for that. And then when this is done, we should have a latrine, which will give us another +1 morale. And then since those are up and running, first thing I want to do is I want to set those direction to the right, copy settings, bring those over here. And now I can deconstruct these. This is going to drop polluted water. I just realized that, and polluted dirt, I think. But it should be bottled. I think it's going to off gas. Oh no. Is it? Wait. Yeah, polluted water, polluted oxygen. So we're going to have that going, which... so we're going to take that. I did not think this through clearly. And if you're a veteran ONI player, you're probably laughing at me. And that's okay, because I'm here to learn. And I'm going to relocate the polluted water down here until I actually relocate that to down here. That's regular water. Okay, so that way I did that so that way it doesn't off gas. So now it's not putting more polluted oxygen out because now I'm going to have to deodorize, which is fine. It's not that big of a deal. All right, so I know it's not much, and I know I did a lot of talking, but this first video is already 44 minutes long, and I would like to keep them relatively short as I put them up. So as of right now, we're going to just cut it out here. I know not a lot got done, but this is just the beginning. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Until then, stay safe. Bye-bye.